First thing to notice that percent always looks bigger than the number. They are the same, but the percent will look bigger than the number. So to change a percent to a number, we're going to divide by 100, and to change a number to a percent, we're going to multiply it by 100. So the first one is, hey, we're going to write these numbers from a percent. We're going to change them to a decimal, which means we're going to take each of those percents and we're going to divide by 100. Only for this first one in red, I will write out the long way. The reason is 100% is the same thing as 1, so dividing by 1 won't change it. The percents cancel out. That's why this works. 25 divided by 100 is 0.25. 130% divided by 100 is 1.3. Notice that 1.3 or the percent 130% looks bigger than 1.3. That's your mental check to make sure you did this right. 6.7 divided by 100 is 0.067, and 0.6% divided by 100 is, a lot of students will make this mistake, but it's going to be 0.006. So we're going to change these decimals here to percents. So all we have to do is multiply it by 100. Decimal is a number, so we're going to multiply that by 100 to change it from a decimal to a percent. So multiply each of these by 100. And that would be the same as moving the decimal 2 spots to the right. But 0.5 times 100 is 50%. 0.04 times 100 is 4%. 0.375 would be 37.5%. 1.6 times 100 would be 160%. Notice that the percents look bigger than the number for each of them. 4.432 times 100 is 443.2%. And finally, 0.002 times 100 would be 0.2%. We'll do the bottom one next, the right 1/10 as a percent. So first, use your calculator. 1 divided by 10 is 0.1. And then the change, or 0.10, and the change a number to a percent, we divide that by 100. So let's use the little obulus symbol here. And again, for all of these questions, you can always use your calculator, especially on a test or quiz. We don't want you to make a mistake because of kind of feel the pressure. So this would be, divide that by 100, and we're going to have 0.001%. We're going to take those 65% and a 450%, we're going to change them to fractions. We're going to simplify our answer. So again, we could divide this by 100%. And I picked 100%. There's different ways you could approach this problem. But notice that dividing by 100% doesn't change it because 100% is 1. The percents will cancel out. So we have 65 over 100. Do this off to the side. Both numbers are divisible by 5. So this is a fraction form, 65 over 100, but it's not simplified yet. If we divide them both by 5, that would give us 13 over 20. And since 13 is prime, we know we're done at that point. For the 450%, we can divide this by 100%. The percents will cancel off, and this last 0 will cancel off for both of them. You may remember that from a prior math course. So we have 45 over 10. Again, for this one, we can divide the top and bottom both by 5. And that would give us 9 over 2. And since 2 is prime, we are definitely done at that point. And for this last question, I'm going to fill this table in. So 5/8, if you use your calculator, we divide, that's going to give us 0.625. And to change that to a percent, number to a percent, we multiply by 100. So 0.625 times 100 would give us 62.5%. Notice how the percent looks bigger than the decimal. For the one below it, we got 0.2. Multiply that by 100, and we have 20%. Change 0.2 to a fraction. We have 0.2. Notice that there's one number there, just the 2. So that's how many zeros we would put on the bottom. We'd have 2 over 10. They're probably going to want this in simplified form. So you would divide the top and bottom by 2. which would give us 1/5. And this last one is 275%. We divide by 100 to change it to a decimal. That would give us 0.275. So 2.75, which is there at the top, we would write 2 in, let's say, 75 over 100, which you probably should know because we said 75 So you probably will recognize that 0.75 is the same thing as 3/4. So we have 2 and 3/4. And in case you want this as an improper fraction, we would do 4 times 2 and then add the numerator. So 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11, and we would end up with 11/4 for our fraction notation. If you have any kind of questions, please ask your math teacher.